Have you ever engaged in a serious debate over which is better, Harry Potter or Lord of the Rings? Have you ever played Smash or Pass using only characters from Star Wars and Marvel movies? If you answered yes to any of these questions, we have the podcast for you. Listen to The Steam Gentlemen, the podcast where an expert panel convenes to ask the questions about pop culture and social commentary that other podcasts are afraid to ask. Listen to The Steam Gentlemen on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you listen to podcasts. Ladies and gentlemen, Wrestling Fans International Association is back. That's right, the premier fan club association of the 1970s and 1980s has been revived and is back in business. Join today. It's free at thewfia.org. That's thewfia.org. You can also join us on Facebook at facebook.com/groups/WFIA 1969. Welcome back, everybody, to the 1987 Supermod. We are back in action here with episode 2 of our Wrestling Challenge tapings. Once again, we are in San Bernardino, California at the Sports Arena, and the WWF all month long for the month of August continues here, everybody, as we, for the third month in a row, the whole summer, have gone with the World Wrestling Federation. It has been quite popular and quite talked about amongst our fan base. All right, so we know that our venue is set. We know that we are recording just another show here. So let's go ahead and give our card a rundown here and see how we do. All right, in the opener, I take that back. We have 3 dark matches. We're going to see Dawn Marie Johnston and Rockin' Robin. We're going to see Mitch Snow and the Ultimate Warrior. We are going to see Cyr and Martin, like that en français, s'il vous plaît, against Houston and Rheingans. And we are going to go on to the main card now. We're going to see Dick Flanagan in there against the Wild Samoan Sika. Hillbilly Jim is going to cut a promo, and then Hillbilly Jim is going to climb into the ring against Nelson Veilleux. We're going to see the Rougeau brothers cut a promo, and they're going to be met in the ring by Pete Doherty and the Raider. The main event, everybody, is going to be Rick Hunter against Paul Orndorff, and Paul Orndorff will also cut an interview as we've gone through before, and as you know, Challenge is all squash matches, everybody. So, with all of that said, and it was a lot of that said, let's get to booking. So here we go, opening up with our dark match now. It's going to be 5 minutes. And we are going to have Johnston versus Rockin' Robin. Rockin' Robin, of course, is the sister, the half-sister of Jake the Snake Roberts and the sister of Sam Houston. So we got the whole family here in the WWF at this point, barring Grizzly Smith. And Grizzly Smith is not coming anywhere near anything that I do. And if you don't know why, look it up. All right, here we go. Dawn Marie Johnston, and she's in there against Rockin' Robin. We've just recently signed Rockin' Robin. She's good in the ring. She's talented. We learned later on that she wasn't that good of a singer, but she was talented in the ring. So Rockin' Robin with the W here, everybody. Up next, we have Mitch Snow and the Ultimate Warrior, and the Ultimate Warrior has that neck injury that will slow him down, but that's okay. We're going to keep using him. Snow versus Ultimate Warrior. Mitch Snow, of course, was a Minneapolis guy. Did some time in the AWA. Also did some time in Memphis. Great shape. Really great shape. I learned some time ago that I think in his early 30s or something, he ended up committing suicide, which is a shame because he was the guy had a good look. He was talented. All right, Mitch Snow and his opponent here is the Ultimate Warrior. Yes, we know about the Warrior's injury. Warrior's going to get the W here. All right, that one is booked. Now our next bout, Cyr and Martin against Houston and Rheingans. Another dark match. 5 minutes. Dark. Cyr and Martin versus Houston and Rheingans. Of course, Cyr and Martin. Cyr is also known as Gilles Poison, and French wrestler from Quebec. And of course, we know Frenchie Martin was also from Quebec. And they actually did tag together. So I have both them here in the WWF. So I put them in a team. We're going to have Brad Rheingans get the win here for his team. And again, dark match pre-show. There we go. 5 minutes. That one's in the books. Now, we go on to the main card here. And Dick Flanagan is going in there against the big man, the big Samoan, Sika. This is not going to go well for our friend Dick Flanagan. There's Dick Flanagan. Here is Sika. Sika with the W. I think Sika is Roman Reigns' dad, right? Or is it Afa? Afa. I can never remember. Either way, Afa was out of the WWF at this point, and Sika was finishing up his time with the WWF, but he was also working for independent promotions too with his brother still, which was kind of cool that the WWF let him do it at that time period. All right, Hillbilly Jim cuts a promo. Here is Hillbilly. One of my favorite wrestlers as a kid. I wish I still had the LJNs, but I don't. Here's Hillbilly Jim. He's talking to Mean Gene Okerlund. Entertainment and booked. There we go. All right, up next, Veilleux against Hillbilly Jim. Another French Canadian here on the card. Actually, we have 5 French Canadians on the card here, which is a rarity. Just happens to be the way it worked out here. All right, here is Veilleux. Pretty good starter mullet there, wouldn't you say? And here's his opponent, the big bad Hillbilly Jim. Don't go messing with a country boy. About 20 years ago, my nephew was very, very young, small kid at the time. This is before, YouTube was readily available on your phone and all that. We started buying him a bunch of wrestling figures, and they were doing a bunch of throwback wrestling figures at the time. So we got him a Hillbilly Jim and a Hulk Hogan and a bunch of other cool stuff like that. That was that really cool time period in the early 2000s where they were paying homage to a lot of the 80s stuff. It was a cool time, very cool time. And my brother and I used to sing out all the theme songs for the wrestlers. So my young nephew got to hear Hillbilly Jim's theme song by my brother and I singing it. It's pretty awesome. Nowadays, you just play YouTube for him. Back then, you couldn't, everybody. All right, here is Jacques Rougeau. Here is his brother Ray, and they are talking to Mean Gene Okerlund. This is not going to be a good promo. They're not the greatest of promos. However, they have increased in popularity, so maybe it'll be better. We'll see how it goes. All right, here's Doherty and the Raider against the Rougeaus. Doherty and the Raider versus the Rougeau brothers. Pete Doherty was actually retired from the ring by this time. He was doing commentary until October with Houston Wrestling. I thought he was a horrible commentator, along with Mike McGurk and Bruce Pritchard. But I have not retired him from the ring. Whatever. We'll keep using him. All right, here are the Rougeau brothers against Doherty and the Raider. And we're going to have Ray get the win for his team. As I've said it before, I'm a strong proponent that the Rougeau brothers should be in the Hall of Fame. Thought they were a fantastic tag team, and since the WWE recognizes other promotions' successes nowadays, I mean, you have wrestlers like Abdul the Butcher and stuff like that that never worked once in the WWF or WWF or WWE, yet he's in their Hall of Fame, then I think the Rougeau brothers should, their outside accomplishments in Montreal and Quebec and all this in the whole surrounding area there, I think it should be honored, and I think they should be in the Hall of Fame. All right, Paul Orndorff is going to cut his promo here. That's just my opinion, of course. Some of you may disagree. All right, here's Paul Orndorff. He's talking to Gene Okerlund. Entertainment. Booked. For some reason, Paul Orndorff is just awful in this 10.0 version of the Supermod. See how he does here. He's going against Rick Hunter. So here's Hunter versus Orndorff. 4-minute bout. There's Rick Hunter. Here is Paul Orndorff. Rick Hunter, obviously, at the very end of his career here. And Paul Orndorff is going to get the win. Chances are good it's going to come by via that pile driver. All right, so here we go. We're at our max 35 minutes. Let's give it a go and see how things work out. Rockin' Robin with the win, using that Bulldog, a whopping 17 for that match. And here we go. The Ultimate Warrior, of course, is slowed down by the injury. He gets the win over Mitch Snow, 34. Up next, Houston and Rheingans get the victory over Cyr and Martin, 37 overall. All right, we're on to the main card now. Sika gets the win with the Samoan drop over Dick Flanagan. And Dick Flanagan was just overmatched and overpowered in that one, no doubt about it. All right, Hillbilly Jim with a nice promo here, 78. Lots of green here, good stuff. Up next, Veilleux against Hillbilly Jim, 52 overall for this one. It's expected. Hillbilly Jim wins with the big boot, which I was always surprised he was allowed to do, since that was Hogan's setup for the leg drop. But it's the way it was. All right, the Rougeaus do not do the greatest here, but they don't do as bad as I thought they would. 59 overall, a little bit of green there, that's good. Rougeaus against Doherty and the Raider, and the Rougeaus get a 70-75. This match is a 59 overall. Who was the Raider here, everybody? I got to look it up. I don't think the Raider was Rick Hunter. I think the Raider was somebody else. But I don't think I made a double. I got to check it out. We did this on one of the saves, I think, one of the shows one time. We changed him over to the Raider. Let me check. We'll look into it. All right, Paul Orndorff gets a 72 promo. Not terrible. A lot better than what we've seen before. Good stuff. And here's the main event. Gets a whopping 50. 64 and 38 gets us a 50. And both have declining physical ability. Orndorff's penalized for chemistry with the manager. This is just, Paul Orndorff is just not good. Not good in this version. I don't like it. All right, we're going to wrap this one up. All right, let's take a look at the Raider now. Maybe I don't have him as somebody else. Yeah. Oh, it's Randy Barber. There we go. Right there, Randy Barber. Bam. Got that mystery solved. All right, everybody, that's going to do it for us for this episode. For those of you that are new to the channel, please make sure you hit that subscribe button and drop us a message below. Also, for those of you that want more, you can get more. Head on over to patreon.com/PowerCastNetwork. Over on Patreon, you will find access to version 10.1 of the Supermod. You will find access to all of our spreadsheets. You will get all of our shows early and ad-free. Not to mention, there is so much more, everybody. Check it out today, patreon.com/PowerCastNetwork. It starts out at only $5, everybody. That's the price of a cup of coffee, and even cheaper than a cup of coffee at that big green and white logo store. All right. Check us out on social media, facebook.com/group/1987Supermod. And don't forget, you can also find us over on Reddit under the subreddit of TEW 2020 Friends. And everybody, please make sure you check out Wrestling Fans International Association today. It is free, the WFIA.org. Take care, everybody. We'll see you next time.